Greetings, future scholars of America. Mr. Barfield here with another round of grammar videos. Today we're moving into a new topic, verbals. There are three types of verbals that we're going to look at over the course of this week. We've got participles, we've got gerunds, and we've got infinitives. So let's start with participles. Speaking of which, the word verbals is it's just a collective term for a verb form used as another part of speech. So basically a verb that's used as something besides a verb. It's a fun word because it sounds kind of like gerbils. Anyway, let's review. A present participle is a verb plus ing, and a past participle is a verb plus ed. Usually there are exceptions to that rule when you have irregular verbs, but for the most part, think ing and ed. So that means a participle can act as the main verb in a verb phrase or as an adjective to describe or modify nouns or pronouns, thus making it a verbal. In these two examples, the player has kicked the ball and the kicked ball sword. Kicked has two different functions. Can you spot which one acts as a verb and which one acts as an adjective? I bet you can, because here in the first sentence, kicked is part of the verb phrase has kicked. And in this sentence, the main verb is actually sword, making kicked an adjective that modifies ball, hence a participle. But you also have participial phrases, which is a mouthful, and participial also kind of sounds like marsupial, which reminds me of kangaroos. A participial phrase is a group of words that includes a participle and other words that complete its phrase or complete its meaning. When placed at the beginning of a sentence, you must use commas for a participial phrase, like this. Running for the ball, here's the participle. For the ball is the rest of the participial phrase. Mr. Barfield slipped in the mud. Other participial phrases may or may not need commas, kind of like essential and non-essential clauses. For example, if the phrase is necessary or essential to identify the modified word, do not use commas. If the phrase just gives additional info about the modified word, do use commas. Do we have examples of that, Johnny? Yes, we do, Mr. Barfield. So here we have the player kicking the ball is Addy. This participial phrase is necessary to distinguish who we're talking about or what we're talking about. The player kicking the ball is Addy. You could take it out, the player is Addy, but you need to distinguish which player it is. Therefore, it's necessary, no commas. In this example, Addy kicking the ball scored the final point. It is not necessary, so it's offset by commas. Do we have anything else for them, Johnny? Oh, we have a hint. Place the phrase as close as possible to the modified word so the meaning stays clear. If you need an example of how that works, see how kicking the ball is as close as possible as it can be to Addy, which it modifies. What if we took that participial phrase and moved it to the end of the sentence? Addy scored the final point, kicking the ball. It still makes sense, but try to place it as close as possible to the word it's modifying, because then if there were like two people in that sentence, like Addy and Giselle, it would start to get a little unclear about who you're talking about with kicking the ball. Anyway, that's all for today. Bye.